Or we took action? What if before we took action, whether it's to make more money, whether it's to grow a business, whether it's to write a book, whether it's to lose weight and keep it off, whether it's to really commit to having an amazing relationship, whether it's to be able to create more spiritual awareness and connectivity, whatever it is in health, wealth, relationships, career, business, fun, experiences, would you agree that most of the how to achieve any goal right now, we can Google it, we can buy a book on it, we can get a course on it. Would you agree with that? If you agree, all right, if you agree, just type in the chat or give me a like or a love. And Maggie, that 10,000 hours is a myth, all right? That's been debunked. So here is the question for you. Let me share something with you. Hold on. And I've used this before, but I want to make this point again. How many of you have ever tried to solve the Rubik's Cube? Have you ever tried, to solve the Rubik's Cube? Right? Have you ever tried it? And here's why I ask. 99% of people who try to solve the Rubik's Cube fail by the standard word of fail. Okay? Now, why do people who try to solve the Rubik's Cube fail? Like, what do you think the number one answer is, the reason that they fail? Let's talk about success or failure, right? What do you think the number one reason, okay, that they fail to solve the Rubik's Cube, right? So, it's a challenging game. Sure, it's challenging, but it's too hard, Allison, okay? Dills, right? Trisha, right? Why do you think they fail? Is it possible that they give up because they try so many things on their own without taking the time to understand that there is a process, right? An algorithm, certain colors you need to start off with, okay, in certain areas. Do you think that if you went to YouTube and just typed in solve the 2x2 Rubik's Cube, or solve the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, or solve the 4x4 Rubik's Cube, or solve the 5x5 Rubik's Cube, or even solve the crazy complicated Rubik's Cube, do you think that if you were committed to solving it, whether it was 1 or 3 or complicated, if you were committed and you went just to YouTube and found a 10-year-old girl or a 10-year-old boy, okay, that's figured out the algorithm, do you think if you had the patience, the curiosity, and the commitment to doing it, do you think that you would be able to solve the Rubik's Cube? Do you think that on your own, because you may not understand the algorithm or the process, it's hard? And if you practiced doing it right for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, right, do you think you could learn the process to solve it if you were curious, committed, and you had some fun? Well, of course you could. So my point that I made before is sometimes when we fail because we lack the knowledge and skill. Would you agree with that? Okay, so if you want to achieve something that you're committed to achieving, why not start with, what's the knowledge and skill that I need? Right? Number 2, if you are committed to achieving something, why not say to yourself, I will practice and do it until I achieve the result I want no matter what. Now that's commitment. That's focus. Now, what if you also said, pay close attention, every time I do something that doesn't work, I am going to pick myself up. I'm going to ask myself, what did I learn or discover from that attempt? And then I'm going to use it in my next attempt until I succeed. Listen, I want to ask you a question. I got lots of questions, right? Do you know of somebody that you think, they're achieving some success, whether it's financial or health or wealth or relationship, career, business, it doesn't matter, that you think that they're not as smart as you, but they're achieving something that you haven't yet achieved that you want to achieve? Do you know of somebody, you look at them and you go, how is she getting these results? How is he getting these results? Right? Like, I'm smarter than they are. I'm more capable than they are. I have more potential than they are. Let me share something with you. Sometimes it's not about how smart you are. Sometimes it's about true grit and determination to achieve the vision, the goal, the result you want, no matter what. Professionally, ethically, etc. And there are some people that before, they act, they do a little research. Before they act, they they learn the process. Think about this, okay? It's 2021, right? It's August 2021. There's 107 or 8 billion humans that have walked this earth before you and I. Do you think we've learned something from their journey? There are millions, hundreds of millions of books. There are hundreds of millions of videos on YouTube. Every video that you could ever imagine for learning how to fill in the blank, how to start an eBay store, how to replace my glass lens, how to refill the ink of my pen, how to solve a Rubik's Cube, how to make an extra $1,000 a month, how to lose weight and keep it off, how to be happier in my relationship, how to get rid of depression and how to is all over the place. The problem for most people isn't that you don't know how to. The problem is that you are not committed to finding the solution to whatever it is you want to achieve. How to eliminate fear from holding you back. How to frame failure in a way that empowers you versus disempowers you. How to stop procrastinating and sabotaging your success. All of it's available. You're just not committed to the answer and to implementing until you achieve it. There's a story I want to share with you. How many of you read in the newspaper recently the tribe in the Amazon? There's a tribe that they found that doesn't have a lot of contact with humans, and they just discovered this tribe that they have a 100% success rate. Pay close attention. They have a 100% success rate of making it rain when they do their rain dance. Have you heard about this? A 100% success rate. That's unheard of. Can anybody tell me what is their secret formula? What's their secret formula to make it rain 100% of the time? Okay, when they decide to make it rain. Let me share something with you. This is the secret to life. Okay, you ready? This is magical. They dance until it rains. They dance until it rains. Let me ask you a question. Are you taking inspired action until you achieve the goal? Are you taking inspired action, right? To level up your knowledge, your skill set, and your action set. Are you framing things, putting things in the frame that empower you or disempowers you? When you fail and you think that you're a failure, your brain says, well, I don't want any more of that. I don't want to feel this way. Well, what's causing the feeling is the meaning. When I change the meaning, I change the feeling. When I change the feeling, I change my behavior. So let's just make an agreement. If you are committed right now, today, to change the meaning of failure to I've just learned something, which means I'm getting closer to achieving my goal, and I'm going to take inspired action no matter what. Does that make sense? Right? Every athlete learns to fail, as somebody mentioned earlier, forward because they learn. The error detection mechanism in yours and my brain learns from failure as much as it does success. It learns from failure as much as it does success. So, the question is, can you change the meaning of failure? Can you actually shorten your success learning curve by first getting instructions on how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and then, for example, solving it through practice? And do you think that practice makes permanent? Do you think that practice makes permanent? Well, of course practice makes permanent. Now here's the problem. When you practice the wrong things, the wrong thought patterns, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns, you make those permanent. And then your brain conserves energy, all right, to maintain that pattern because that becomes a comfort zone. So avoiding failure becomes a comfort zone for most people. Why? Because most people would prefer to master disappointment versus mastering the science and art of change. Did you hear that? Most people prefer to master disappointment and stay in their comfort zone instead of mastering the science, okay, of change. So, when we are talking about rethinking failure, the first thing is no longer to be afraid of failure. And when we do something that doesn't work, we just say, okay, what did I learn? What did I discover? How did that make me smarter and better? And then, what is it that I should try or do on the next attempt? So rethinking failure, right, is nothing more than changing the meaning. Wayne Dyer had a brilliant quote, when he was alive, one of my favorites. He said, when you change the way you look at something, the thing that you look at changes. And I say, when you change the meaning of something, the thing also changes. The meaning changes. So if we are giving things meaning every single day, why not learn how to give things a meaning that empower you instead of disempower you? Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened in your life when, while it was happening, it was awful, but maybe a year or two or three or four, you look backwards and you see, oh my God, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me? So, have you ever had that happen? Where something happened and it was awful in the moment? I can't tell you how many friends of mine have either been divorced or have had diseases like cancer, that they say that those experiences were horrific during the time. But as a result of it, who they became and what they learned was so amazing that they would go through it again. So why not ask ourselves right off the bat, how can this empower me? Instead of, I'm a failure. How can what I've learned and what I have done teach me so that I am smarter and better for the next attempt? So when we are rethinking failure, we're also not just rethinking failure, but we're learning how to give things a meaning that empower us, that's constructive and positive, empowering, constructive, and positive, instead of disempowering, destructive, and negative. Is it true? Is it true? You and I, one of our greatest gifts is awareness. And in awareness, isn't that when we have choice? And is it true that you and I have the ability to choose things that empower us or disempowering. That is the greatest gift that we have as humans. So if we learn from our parents, our teachers, the environment, television, to disempower ourselves, we create disempowering patterns, and then those patterns become fixed and soft wired in our brain, and then that becomes an automatic way of being. So not only do we fear failure, but then we reinforce the very fear that we don't want. So I want to share something with you to leave you off for today. You own the most powerful biocomputer and organism called your brain. Would you agree with that? You don't owe a mortgage on it. You already own it. It is a meaning-making organism. Now, we can get meanings of things from other people. They could tell us what the meaning is, or we can use higher cortical functions, what I call is my, Einstein brain, and we can, through powerful questions, ask ourselves, how can I use this to empower me? How can I use this to make me smarter? How can I use this for my benefit? How is this thing, this event, this occurrence, this failure here to serve me and to make me better? See, don't give away your power. I want you to step into your power. Does that make sense? Right? So when we are talking about rethinking failure, we have to rethink how I give things meaning will determine how I feel, and how I feel will determine what I do. And if I keep giving myself disempowering, negative, destructive meanings, I will subdue, hold back my potential. We are here to expand and to fulfill our potential, not to shrink. If giving things meaning that empower you is a skill, will you commit to yourself right now to give things meaning that keep you moving forward versus keeping you playing small? Will you do that? Because if you will do that, then you'll be able to achieve more of your goals and dreams. My goal is to help you achieve your goals and dreams a little faster, a little easier than ever before. Yes, it'll take some time. And by the way, my team just, I think, put up a link. We have a Winning the Game of Fear training if you want to learn how to overcome fear of failure, fear of being embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, fear of being disappointed, fear of being rejected. Check out the free training and check out our brain training program on Winning the Game of Fear. And so my team will put up a link for you. So every Tuesday I do a session here. It's called my Achieve Even More Show. And I do a session on several different social media channels, right? And did you enjoy this? Would you share this with others? Would you share this with others? Suzanne, look in the bio, please. Would you share this with others so that we can help people reframe failure, rethink failure? And listen, one of the things that I love to do is the research, specifically on what's going on in that amazing brain of ours. And how can you use that brain better to achieve your goals faster and easier? All right, so if you enjoyed this, please share it. Also come back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock New York, and we'll do another session. All right, have an awesome day. Check out the Winning Game of Fear, Overcoming Fear free training. And I will see you back next Tuesday. By the way, I'm on all the social media channels. I got a lot of videos on YouTube. Check those out if you want a lot of how-tos. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the stuff. All right, so appreciate you all. How about a high five? Boom, boom, boom. And have a great day, and thank you. And share this is greatly appreciated. Bye-bye now.